Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to this regular Board of Education meeting on March 23rd. This is a very exciting night, and it's great to have a full house. So we will start with a roll call, please.
Ms. Garrison?
Here.
Mr. Brown?
Here.
Ms. Chow?
Here.
Ms. Cartha? Here. Ms. Bailey?
Here.
Mr. Rickus?
Here.
Ms. Quattrocki?
Here. Claudia, the approval of the agenda?
Sorry. Got it. I move that the Board of Education approve an amended agenda for tonight's March 23rd, 2015 regular board meeting, moving item 22, approval of strategic plan outcome measures prior to the approval of the strategic plan.
Second.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Garrison?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Chow?
Yes.
Ms. Cartha? Yes. Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rickus?
Yes.
Ms. Quattrocki?
Yes, motion passes. We have no formal presentations from the public, so we'll go on to board and district communications.
Should I jump in?
Yes,
Well, good evening and welcome, everyone. I just have two quick comments. One, I had the pleasure of being at the YMCA on Saturday when the Y, in partnership with YOU and Northwestern University and the Sebring Lewis Foundation, opened up the fabulous new Metamedia Learning Lab, which is a wonderful place for our middle school students and middle school students around Evanston and Skokie to go and participate. And I just wanted to recognize the wonderful contributions of our community partners who are reaching out to create a space of digital learning for our young people. And I invite, on behalf of the Y, I invite you all to go over and look at that. And then if I may, I just want to, as the evening goes on, so I don't forget, I want to give a special thanks to Nan, Betsy, Stephanie, and Margaret, who have scurried together our wonderful group of students who will be helping me in presenting the strategic plan and engaging all of us in the spirit of the strategic plan. So thank you very much.
Great. Any other board comments? Candace.
I just wanted to give a shout out to the Haven North Stars Science Olympiad team.
Ooh, yes.
That this past Saturday competed at the regionals and took 11 medals and is going on to state, placed 5th at state. And I think it's the first Science Olympiad team in recent Haven history that's going to state competition. So we had it was 15 wonderful students that took 11 medals and competed in all 23 events. It was just a great day. So congratulations to them.
Great. Any other comments? Okay. Our first discussion item or approval item is approval of the strategic plan outcome measures. Omar?
All right. I move that the Board of Education approve the strategic plan outcome measures as presented.
Second?
I second it.
All right. Shall we open it up to Peter?
Yeah, why don't I start off very quickly and then I'll toss it over to Peter and then present it back for your consideration. So what we're presenting today is an amended memorandum about outcome measures. And as we think about the strategic plan and all the work that we do and the work that we do to focus on our children's success as they go down the journey to be high school ready, as they continue the journey to be college ready, career ready, and if I may, life ready. That high school, college, career, and life readiness is a driving force of what we do. And that's embedded within the spirit of the strategic plan. It's embedded in all the work that we do as a Board of Education and as an administration. And we want to make sure that the outcome measures that we have, not only in the strategic plan, but for the district as a whole, reflect that. So we've got a group of measures that I'm going to turn to Peter to present, and with the idea that what we're asking tonight is for an approval of these measures, and then we will spend the next several months working on the actual targets and what is realistic targets given the measures that we have. So let me turn to Peter Goddard.
All right. I guess I'll keep my comments brief and just take questions after that. This is based on the conversation that we had earlier this month with some amendments based on the feedback that we received from you on the evening of March 2nd. If you look at the second page of this memo, you'll see the overall categories of measures that we are suggesting here. And the recommended outcome measures are summarized in a template scorecard on the 6th page of this memo as well. The first area here, something we haven't measured before, and in fact will be a focus of my office over the next couple of months to develop the measure, is percent of students on pace with early literacy skills based on the ISIL and DRA assessments that we currently administer in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. Next, looking at the MAP assessment from grades 3 to 8, we would report on the percent of students who are meeting college-ready benchmarks in both reading and math, as well as look at the percentage of students who fall into the bottom quartile, with the goal obviously of increasing the percent who are college-ready and decreasing the percent who fall within the bottom quartile. Next, we would look at the percent of students who make expected gains, and we would look at that in 3 ways. We'd look at students overall. We'd look at students who are already meeting college readiness benchmarks to make sure that they are continuing to show academic progress. And also we would look at the percent of students making gains among those who do not already meet benchmarks as a way of understanding whether those students are making progress toward college readiness. In addition, we would also look at achievement gaps, and you'll see that we're looking at this by income, by race and income together, by disability status, and also for former English learners. And you'll see in the memo from what I'm proposing that it's going to take us an additional year to develop this metric of who is a former English learner. And the reason to do that, as opposed to just looking at the percentage of English learners who meet college readiness benchmarks, is to make sure that we have an appropriate measure and that we're not judging the progress of ELs based on an assessment in a language in which they may not yet be proficient. And then lastly, we want to make sure that our students are challenged in their coursework. And so we've recommended that we use the measure of academic challenge that's called Academic Press from the 5 Essentials Student Survey. And that would be right now for students who are in middle school. Although if we could encourage our partners at University of Chicago to build surveys that go into elementary grades, we could also measure it there too. So that's my hope as we go forward. Let me just talk a little bit about 2 other topics here. One is goal setting or target setting, and the other is our reporting plan. In terms of target setting, my objective here would be to bring you in June a recommendation about how we will set our targets, as well as some initial analysis and recommendation about how we do that. You'll see in this memo that there are 5 ways that we've sort of debated about how to do this. So we could benchmark against our own historical performance. We could benchmark against peers. We could set aspirational goals. And we've also talked about setting goals based on having each principal set goals for their school and then rolling that up to the district as a whole, or thinking about an activity where teachers would set individual goals based on students and then rolling up from there as well. So we'll be looking at those 5, looking at exemplar institutions who have used them, and coming to you in June with a recommendation about how we actually set targets based on the measures that we're asking you to approve tonight. Lastly, I would just point out in this memo some information that I reviewed before about how we plan to report this information. So you'll see in the packet that you have before you tonight our strategic plan board progress report, which we'll be producing twice a year, and that will show you how we are progressing against the activities in the plan. Once a year, we plan to create a strategic plan scorecard that'll come out in August, and the purpose of that is to report outcome data against the measures that you're approving tonight. We also will continue with our achievement and accountability report, which will give you a deeper dive look into the data that constitute these measures and break it down in additional ways. So for example, in the plan you were approving, looking at percent of students making expected gains for those who are above college readiness and below college readiness, in the achievement and accountability report, we could do things like look at that by quartile to give you a finer grain understanding. And then lastly, we're working in coordination with District 202 at ETHS to create a joint accountability report. Each year that report, as you know from our last joint board meeting, will focus on a particular topic. This year we're looking at the percent of students who are on track for literacy from kindergarten through 12th grade. As we go forward, we will be addressing other questions and continuing to develop our understanding of how students are performing across our 2 districts. So let me leave it there and take any questions you might have.
And let me add 2 more things. So the last point, I don't want to lose that as we think about, again, the journey of high school readiness and college readiness and career readiness and life readiness, to be able to track that over time so that we can actually look at what goes on in the elementary grades and how a student travels through ETHS is something that's really important to us, and we want to work on that and develop that sort of reporting. The final thing, as you engage in this memo, the draft of the strategic plan is a draft until you kindly approve it, if you so do so. On Appendix F, which is the last page of this memo, we added in one more line of indicators that would add into the achievement gap documentation around students of color who did not qualify for free or reduced lunch. So as you approve, as we bring forward the strategic plan for your approval, we're asking you first to approve these outcomes as the starting point, including the addendum that we have in Appendix F.
Questions? For Peter or anyone. Questions about the measures? Goals?
I don't have questions. I wanted to thank you guys for these measures, because I think the measures are going to guide the plan and then guide us, or you all, through the next 3 to 5 years. And I look at it, and starting with literacy, when we have our joint literacy goal, it's so great that we're talking about early literacy. I think it's really important that we have those who are expected gains for both kids who don't make college and career and kids who do. I think it's so important, as you all know, that we continue to look at the achievement gap. So I'm glad that's there. And I think the fact that we have student survey as part of our outcome measures is so important, because what our students think about what is happening in the schools should be accounted for. So I'm really excited about these outcome measures, and I thank you for doing it, putting it together.
Great.
Great. I agree. Any other comments?
I would just add to what Katie said. I think this is a really, when you look at the outcome measures and then combined with the indicators within the strategic plan, this is what we had set out to do, is have a more holistic view of what achievement is and what it means to succeed in our schools. And I think this really does it, because it combines academic measures along with social emotional measures when you look at the whole picture, and it really will enable us to address all the needs of our kids and look at that as we move forward. So it's no easy task. So thank you very much to everyone who's involved with it. And I think it will galvanize, our 1,000 employees as well as our community and ourselves, as we can really focus in on these key measures as indicators of how well we're doing. So another thank you.
I think then it's time to move on to the approval of the strategic plan. Or do we vote? We vote first. Okay, roll call, please. Ms. Garrison?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Chow?
Yes.
Ms. Cartha?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rickes?
Yes.
And Ms. Quattrocki?
Yes, the motion passes 7-0.
Good evening again, and thank you all for being here. And as we start this conversation, we have a very special way of presenting the strategic plan to the board and to the community. And I'm honored to lead off in this presentation and then be helped by some able and fantastic assistants. So I want to thank everyone who have joined us here this evening. We've been excited to work on this plan, and we're really extra excited to have each and every one of you here, and those of you who are watching on television. Tonight is the culmination of months of hard work in developing our 5-year strategic plan for Evanston-Skokie District 65. The foundation of the plan is our commitment to serving the needs of every child, every day, whatever it takes. The response of our community and their willingness and commitment to work together in the development of this plan has been remarkable. The voices of nearly 2,000 faculty, staff, parents and students, and community members have been incorporated into this final plan that will be presented for approval by the school board tonight.
Thanks to my teachers, principals, parents, classmates, and members of our community for sharing their voices and coming together to develop a plan that will continue to improve our schools, making them an even better place for us to learn.
The strategic plan identifies 5 important areas that will help our district to accomplish its plan and its mission to inspire creativity and to prepare its students to achieve academically, grow personally, and to contribute positively to a global society.
These important areas include high-quality teaching and learning, safe and supportive school climate, thriving workforce, family and community engagement, and financial sustainability. If we can work together to achieve these goals, just ask yourself, what will our schools be like in 2020?
My school will continue to get better every year. It will be a place filled with new ideas. Teachers will work together to support my needs and the needs of my classmates so that we could be successful in high school and in whatever we choose to do in life.
My teachers will work from a new instructional framework. This means they will do a great job making sure my classes are both engaging and challenging. This also means that there will be less variation and challenge level in between classes.
The district will make sure my school has the best teachers and staff members. They will make sure they have the time to work together, learn from each other, and come up with great ideas that will make my school a better place for us to learn.
My teachers will have more opportunities to learn from one another and build the skills they need to make my classes fun and for me to learn a lot. This means they will be even better at teaching my classes.
Teachers and staff members will work with me, my family, and members of our community to ensure that I do well in school and provide me and my peers with the support and resources that we need to be successful in life.
My school will be an even better partner for families and for community organizations. This means I will have access to great activities such as after-school programs and field trips.
My school is a place that will be safe. It is a place that my peers and I will feel accepted and supported. In my school, we will celebrate and embrace the differences of one another.
Teachers will work in teams together to ensure that I do well in school, giving me the support that I need to excel in my ability to read and do math.
The district will know what is most important and how money should be spent. They will help everyone to understand just how and why these decisions are made. The district will make sure that our schools have the resources necessary to keep our schools safe and up to date, and that these resources can sustain and expand on programming and services for current students and students for years to come.
The district is going to make decision-making about its budget more clear and inclusive. This means that they will work to secure resources we need for my peers and I to have the school resources that make learning fun.
For every child, every day, whatever it takes. Okay? Thank you.
And as we set up this stage, the vision of a school district in 2020 was just represented by our fabulous students.
So this song is entitled Whatever It Takes. And if you thought you were just going to sit and not participate in this song, I'm sorry to let you know. You will be singing with us this evening. There will be an appropriate time to participate at the end of the song where we keep repeating the refrain. They'll cue you in, you'll get the idea to sing along with us. All right? Of another school year, working with children of every age. Expectations high for all who come, preparing lessons designed to engage. Encourage her to keep on trying, affirming every effort he makes. Every child, every day, whatever it takes. A brand new journey. Sometimes you wake up and snow's all over the ground. Persisting through many trials, something to learn every day of the week. We'll take pride in their achievements. We'll help them learn from their mistakes. Every child, every day, whatever it takes.
Whatever It Takes is also a theme for Matthew Hunter, and let's give it up for Matthew. And again, for Nan, Margaret, Stephanie, and Betsy, who pulled this together, and then our absolutely lovely students. We can't thank you enough on a school night, and hopefully in a few minutes we'll be able to have a little fun in the So it's my honor and pleasure This is a fun way of doing board presentations.
Can they come back every week?
It's my honor and pleasure to present the strategic plan 2015 to 2020 to the Board of Education for review and approval. A plan that's been touched by over 2,000 citizens with an engaged group of partners, many of whom are here tonight. An advisory committee of citizens from around town, both of our towns, working committees that worked diligently to be able to pull together the plan. We had the direct involvement of many teachers and many of our administrators, and specifically Andalip Kalgati, Kate Ellison, Jeff Brown, and Trish Murray, who I think are here tonight, also served on a planning team with us. I would be remiss without thanking my senior team who worked with me: John Price, Joyce Bartz, Beatrice Davis, Mary Brown, and Peter Goddard. We've had some absolutely fantastic folks who have been assisting us: Lisa Schneider-Fabes, Pat Munsell, and Eva Moon. And along the way, along with giving birth to a beautiful young daughter, Maria Allison also was the executive really in charge of shepherding this, and it's to her credit that we're all here tonight. So with that, I present to the board the strategic plan 2015 through 2020.
Thank you very much. I do wish we could do that every week at the board meeting. But we'll have Suni, will you read the motion?
Only if we take our vote in song. I'm just joking, we won't do that. I move that the Board of Education approve the 5-year strategic plan presented for the Skokie Evanston School District 65.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Garrison?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Chow?
Yes.
Ms. Cartha?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rickes?
Yes.
Ms. Quattrocki?
Yes, and the motion passes overwhelmingly 7-0. And we now get to recess for...
If I could do one more acknowledgement. In the plan itself, and this, the draft will now be heading to the printer, et cetera, we have absolutely stunning student work, and there's student art throughout this. And so to the student artists, I also want to tip my hat and say thank you so very much. And I believe I have some certificates for them right here. And so my student artists, if you wouldn't mind coming forward, and I'll just call you by name, Sidale Anyang. And if I had said that wrong, you can help it. Certificate of Appreciation in recognition of your creativity and artistic contribution to the design of the project. Thomas Glue. And Braden Graham.
Oh, Braden. He's not here.
And Kim Jolie. And Tess McGowan Henderson. Jasmine Morrow. Aiden O'Hare. Amelie Tran. Ethan Wernikoff. And Joseph Williams Salgado. Ladies and gentlemen, our young artists who also make up the plan. So I think at this stage we can enjoy a quick reception.
Great. Thank you very much. Yes, so we'll recess for a reception and come back for the regular work of the board. But let's celebrate.
Let's get out of here by 8:15. Whatever it takes. By 8:15. What do you think?
What do I think?
All right, 8:20 is doable.
It's totally doable.
See, that wasn't hours and hours of recess. It was more like it's like
It was so warm.
when did we start?
How long did you think it was your kids here? Wasn't going to last? Everyone
Hey,
school night.
Ooh.
All right, Candace.
Okay.
Where to sell this? Sell your stuff.
Should I wait till Katie sits down?
No.
No, you just start.
Okay. I move that the Board of Education accept the recommendations outlined in the attached group motion and approve the personnel, appointments, leaves of absence, retirement, separations, reduction in force, February 2015 Board of Education meeting minutes, February 2015 Finance Committee meeting minutes, destruction of the February 2013 closed session audio recordings, January 2015 list of bills, school treasurer reports, and budget amendments, recommended bond expenditures, Oakton roofing bid, building use fees for fiscal year 16, transportation fees for fiscal year 16, childcare fees for fiscal year 16, and gift acceptances for Walker, Oakton, and King Arts.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Chow?
Yes.
Ms. Cartha?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rickes?
Yes.
And Ms. Quattrocki?
Yes, the motion passes 7-0. Our upcoming work, our next working board meeting will be April 13th, right after spring break. And I believe the agenda is fairly open at this point. Yeah, we were talking about revisiting some of the board goals, but I think we're going to do that in June. So I think
Cancel it.
we should cancel it if we don't have anything. Except we don't want to. I was going to say, but Katie, that would be too painful for you to miss one of your two last board meetings.
Well, you know, you're finance, so let me think about it.
We would still need an
Do we need an executive session?
We still would need an executive
We
session.
need an executive session. But maybe we could just do an executive session.
Well, then you have to keep the meeting date, so then you can just decide.
Okay, and then we'll look to see if there's anything that we need to vote on, etc. But at this point, it will just be executive session. Committee reports, our next joint 65-202 committee meeting will be on the 23rd. And we haven't developed the agenda, but I would imagine it's a continuation of some of the discussion items we had at our joint meeting. Finance Committee, Richard?
Some of the themes that we've been talking about for the last few months will find their way onto the agenda once again.
All right, and the Park School Planning Committee, Joyce, that's not the Long Range Planning Committee, it's the Planning Committee. So
The advisory committee will be again in late May or June.
Okay.
when we will update on what we have been doing within the Long Range Planning Committee with the Board of Ed, with the Advisory Committee of Ed.
Okay. Policy Committee. Sonia?
We have not met in some time. We'll meet again in May. We'll talk
And one item we need to find our way on is the fees. We were going to discuss our policy behind that.
Right.
Okay, then the Wellness Council, Sumi?
Yes, I guess we have a meeting coming up too in next month. Nothing specific on the agenda that I am aware of.
Candace, the Community School Initiative?
Well, I guess the only thing I have is a request for, at our April, I'm looking at the date, I guess it's the 27th meeting that we have on the agenda, an update on the Community Schools Initiative. I think that's when we were going to bring forward the proposals from the Leadership Council on the scale-up plan, the resource map, et cetera. So there's space on that agenda.
Okay, I'm just a little confused. I thought we only had one meeting in April. We have two?
We have two. Yeah. The 13th and the
27th.
And the 13th isn't finance? I'm so confused.
20th is finance because we have spring break on the 6th.
Okay. All right, so I didn't realize. I thought I only had one meeting in
13th,
April.
20th, and 27th. The Head Start Early, City School, Candace. And you got the next.
No. Is there any update for Skinny?
I couldn't be there. I wasn't at that one.
Oh, at the last City School.
The last one, yeah.
Liaison. I mean, we had discussions on an update on homelessness, a discussion around that. We actually had a good dialogue, and a sub-team, administrative team, was going to work in the interim to think about some near-term things that we could collaborate on to kind of address some of the needs of the homeless population specifically. So, and then we're going to come back to that, talk about that in our next subsequent
And
meeting.
indeed, we are hosting the next one here, and so I'll look to each of you for some ideas about agendas.
And then Head Start?
I don't have any Head Start updated. There's a memo in the packet that folks can read. I don't know if you have.
Did
any.
you have something, Joyce?
John and I have met with our literacy director and Samantha Richardson and Amy Small regarding Smart Start, which has been a program that we've had in the district for the last few years. And we're really looking to redevelop that program, beginning with our pre-K population, and hope that this is really, could be an exciting new initiative working with our kids in literacy, but also with parents. So there's a little bit in there in our memo.
Great.
I have one more statement, and I was in some ways remiss, but then I was also anticipating your vote. And I just want to say publicly thank you to each and every one of you individually as board members, and then collectively as we've embarked on this journey to create the strategic plan. We hope you see your signature in this, and indeed the back and forth and the pushback and the healthy criticism to actually move this product forward is just fantastic. And I couldn't, on behalf of the entire team, we couldn't have done it without you, and we really couldn't have done it without Candace. And so I want to tip, on behalf of the team, and I want to tip my hat to Candace for the extraordinarily the wonderful commitment that you made to making this happen and getting us here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Candace. And just to complete the circle, we would like to thank you all again, because we couldn't have done it without you, and this has been a tremendous joint effort. We're very appreciative of where we've landed, so thank you.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. So, if there's no further business before the board, I find us